Hey everyone, it's Saoirse, and if you watched my video about can I read on vacation, you will know that I just got back from California. I went out there with my mom to see Cynthia Erivo perform at the Hollywood Bowl in Jesus Christ Superstar, and here's my shirt that I got there. It was phenomenal. I'm exhausted. It was totally worth it, and this is the book that I brought on that trip and talked about, you know, my struggle with reading on vacation because I don't do like relaxation vacations. I do really whirlwind sightseeing trips where I try to maximize the time because I'm such a nervous flyer that I always think I might never fly again. Like I might never have the courage to do this again. So I really got to do everything while I'm here. So for my August TBR, I'm going to read this one. I ended up getting through 128 pages, and most of that was done on the flight over to LA. And then like maybe 30-40 pages after that, including the flight back. On the flight back, I was like, for some reason I can't focus, probably because I'm processing everything that just happened in the past 4 days, so I watched Galaxy Quest, which was one of my childhood favorites. Ugh, I laughed, I cried, I cared. It is such a good movie. Okay, so I'm gonna finish that, and I really like it. Yeah, it's very readable. And then also on the trip, I forgot to mention I did bring a poetry collection, Tough and Tender. This is by Zane Frederick, and I follow him on Instagram, and he was posting about having this book, so I was like, oh, I love everything that he posts, so I might as well try his poetry collection. And I like to bring... Did I not put a bookmark in there? Oh, okay. I like to bring a couple options on a trip. So if I'm not into one, especially like if I'm starting it on the flight and God forbid I'm not into it on the flight, then I'm not, just up the creek. I have another option. So I like to bring usually something smaller, a poetry collection that I can just fit in there. So I'm going to read that, and that, I don't really take my time with poetry collections. I just kind of go through that in like a day. And then next in August, I want to read this. And actually, these next two I got at the adult Scholastic book fair that happened locally. This is called Want. And this is a collection of essays about women's sexual fantasies. And I just think this is going to be fascinating, and they definitely got me with the pink cover. I mean, and I just dropped it on the ground. I have a whole room that's pink and green, so anything pink looks good in there. And then the other book that I got at that book fair is Hungerstone. I know, a couple of hardcovers. That's very, very, very unlike me. I usually do not buy hardcovers. I've just been finding myself really impatient lately, and I'm like, if something that I want to read is out and it's only out in hardcover, well, life is short. But the thing about that is then you have to get to them, like really read them before the paperback comes out, because then you'll feel like an idiot if you've been holding onto the hardcover and haven't read it, and now the paperback's out and you could have just gotten that. That happened to me last year, so I'm like, not again! So that is what we have for August. And as you can see, I'm trying to do 4 books. I'm trying to do 4 books a month, unless there's like something left over from the last month that I'm finishing, and then I'll try to do 4 on top of that. But it would be so wonderful, wouldn't it, if I could just like really clean and nice, like finish 4 books within a month so that nothing rolls over to the next month. I don't know if that's my one of my OCD things. It probably is. But I like things to be like contained. Like in this month, I read these 4. I did start this technically, I guess it was the 29th when I flew to LA. But then I knew I'm going to be in California and not going to be doing much reading. See, I knew the answer to that question, can I read on vacation? I was surprised by how much I read on the plane, but I knew once I got there, no. So we have a novel, poetry collection, another novel, and an essay collection. I do like to mix it up with fiction, nonfiction, and poetry. And some months I don't do that on purpose. It just kind of happens because I'm like, oh, I've been reading a lot of nonfiction, and I'm starting to, like, my brain's getting fried, so I gotta read a story that is totally made up. I know some people are mood readers. People have mentioned that on here, and that is it's so tough for me because I definitely have a mood where I want to read a specific feeling. Like, I've been feeling for a while like this might scratch a sort of itch that I've been having, but I was all wrapped up in, well, it's not on the list for this month, so I can't read it yet because I said I would read these other ones. So I'm not really good at, like, allowing myself to just mood read, like, go, oh, well, actually I'm into this, so I'm gonna set this aside for now. I also don't like to read 2 books at once anymore. I think I've talked about this. I used to read like 7 books at once when I was a kid, and now brain can't do it. So I like to finish something before I move on to the next thing. So yes, that is August. I hope. Since it worked so well in July, I thought I would do this again. But this might be a busy month. And it's already a few days into the month, and I haven't picked this up again since the trip, so wish me luck. But above all, what's most important is enjoying what you read. So until I see you next time, happy reading.